Hello there. I'm honored to take the reins as one of the new hosts of the Business Roundup, a show that has been at the forefront of insightful business reporting in the recent years. A big salute to the incredible team that has built this platform into what it is today. I'm Maureen Babidie, and it's time to get straight to the highlights. China Water and Electric Corporation on the spot over shoddy Isimba Dam works. Stakeholders in the energy sector have committed to work together to harness the potential of alternative dispute resolution. And last but not least, Uganda inaugurates its first Deep Technology Center of Excellence at the Namambe Industrial Park. Keep it locked, it's time for business. In our first story, the Parliamentary Committee on Environment and Natural Resources is recommending that the China Water and Electric Corporation contract be terminated over inability to complete the Isimba Power Dam project. In an engagement with the MPs, the contractor found difficulty in accepting the mess, asserting that the dam is safe, contrary to the recent investigations. We have the details.
Last week, the Parliamentary Committee on Environment and Natural Resources conducted a site visit to the Isimba Hydropower Dam after reports emerged of severe erosion on the buffer blocks caused by high-velocity water flow. The MPs expressed concerns about the poor construction of the 4-year-old dam and called for urgent repairs.
Spillway is critical for the safety of the dam. If the wall is washed away, the repercussions are severe for the people downstream and also for the dam itself.
On Wednesday, the committee held a meeting with senior officials from the contractor China Water and Electric Corporation, including the company's president, Professor Wang, who joined the discussion via Zoom. The witnesses were sworn in before providing their testimonies.
And nothing but the truth. And nothing but the truth.
Herbert Ariko, chairperson of the committee, urged the contractor to present a plan for addressing the damage to the spillway. However, MPs were taken aback when Professor Wang dismissed the recent investigation results, which highlighted the issues with the buffer blocks. This frustrated the MPs.
And especially, Chair, where we also take note that the foundation of the river is getting compromised. Now I have a question. Are we trying to wait until we end up in a deep pit and then we rise up?
We are talking of 2 trillions. And people are giving contradicting information. Moreover, on oath.
Atelia, the owner's engineer, reminded the committee of a previous meeting in which the contractor had acknowledged responsibility for the spillway defects and agreed to explore alternative water control solutions, covering the costs for necessary repairs.
This is maybe the 4th or 5th meeting that we've had in the last maybe even 12 months where we've had to sit with the contractor and seek their commitment.
The President himself, in his document here, page 169, he's saying the inspection did not reveal defects that can compromise safety. But still in the same paragraph, he's saying there is a recommendation of urgent repair.
The 183 megawatts project has yet to meet expectations, with stakeholders advocating for the diversion of the river to allow dry access to the buffer blocks before repair work can commence.
And the principle which we want to see is to allow the investigation. The other structures which they say they are designing in China have got to come to sit on a good foundation. If you don't have a good foundation, however good the structure and the design is, we shall go back.
Despite mounting concerns, the contractor maintained that the structural defects posed no risk, which led to the meeting being prolonged. This prompted accusation from MPs that China Water and Electric Corporation was playing a ping-pong game with the issue.
You know, we shall do this, we shall not do this. It's not necessary, it's necessary. There is nothing like the English of that is not necessary or the other is not necessary. What we want on behalf of Ugandans is a dam that is fit for purpose in accordance with the design and expectations that are laid down in the contractual agreement.
The Minister of State for Energy, Sidronius Opolot Okasai, along with the MPs, insisted that the contractor take immediate action to address the spillway issue. This served as a clear final warning to the contractor, and the committee is now considering recommending the termination of the contract.
I would request, Chair, you adopt we should want these engineers to give us a costed and resourced time frame to deliver this project.
Following a motion raised by Mukono South MP Fred Kayondo, the committee voted for representatives of the contractor to provide statements to the CID department at Parliament, which was done immediately after the meeting.
Once you enter into contract with a sovereign entity, you become bound by the law. That is why in the contract you signed, it says this contract is subject to the laws of Uganda, ABCD, ABCD.
Meanwhile, the contractor reiterated the necessity of a physical model test as part of a long-term solution to the spillway issue. Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gutabinji, UBC News.
Stakeholders in the energy sector have committed to work together to harness the potential of alternative dispute resolution, a mechanism that encourages the settlement of disputes without resorting to litigation. Take a look.
The workshop converged members of the legal fraternity, members of the Electricity Disputes Tribunal, and energy sector players to discuss alternative dispute resolution in resolving industry disputes.
ADR has really worked for us in the Electricity Disputes Tribunal. For example, just in January we had 12 cases concluded through this method. So it really works, and these are big cases. These are cases that really would affect the litigants if they were to wait longer or to follow the formal procedure of hearing. So this is useful. It's the reason we picked a lot of interest and to bring on board all the stakeholders.
The future is ADR. Yet where we came from, we did ADR. Now what we are trying to do is to resuscitate ADR in Uganda, in Africa, so that we are not spending years on end in court case backlog, killing judges, with stress, and litigants coming out of court without satisfaction.
ADR is a popular method that includes mediation and arbitration instead of going to court.
ADR is very important because even as per now, even the cases that are already in court files, they can still return back to the community for mediation, for arbitration, so that they can reduce that backlog. And then two, the new cases can be or the new cases of conflict can be finished up from the community. And so the court cases will only be looking at these larger cases. So I said the ones that have really weighed in their offices.
As Uganda's power generation grows, so does the potential for disputes. Dennis Kagwa, the Human Resource Manager at the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Development, concurs with ADR's capacity to resolve disputes amicably, fast and affordably.
Together, we can explore new avenues for resolving disputes in a timely, cost-effective and efficient manner, providing the best remedies available to the litigants and citizens of our country, thus promoting a culture of collaboration and cooperation in the energy sector.
ADR has been embraced in many industries in Uganda, including consumer markets, energy, infrastructure, and financial institutions.
In another development, the quest for Uganda's youth to get fulfilling and dignifying work is often met with numerous hurdles, ranging from the lack of capital, skill sets, market and mindset barriers. In the last 5 years, MasterCard Foundation, through its Young Africa Works strategy, has been creating opportunities for young people in high potential sectors such as agriculture, micro, small and medium enterprises, and the digital economy. Let's have a look.
We have these other things like the snails, as you can see, the African giant land snails. Yeah, so we use this for animal feeds. The snail shells have 98% calcium content.
We are actually working with a total of 50,000 youth in Southwestern to ensure that they can access employment opportunities through the dairy value chain.
Grace Charimba and Pamela Ebanyat are some of the beneficiaries of the MasterCard Foundation's Young Africa Works program, aimed at equipping youth with the skills they need to access meaningful employment and entrepreneurship skills. As Uganda continues its path towards inclusive and sustainable growth, the Partners in Development commit to continue unlocking the potential in young people.
So it's not a singular project, so we've got very many different partnerships and there are many different intervention spaces. So in all those spaces there are different areas that we have to focus on. So in access to finance, for example, originally many models are very singular focused. We were trying to now see how we can engage the ecosystem, the banks, the financial institutions, and see how we can mainstream this access to finance solutions to make financing affordable for entrepreneurs and then make the environment under which the policies are delivered agreeable for them to grow.
Enterprises like those showcased have the capacity to employ Ugandan youth, generate significant income and transform livelihoods, says Godfrey Byamukama from the Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. However, the journey to success is littered with an array of challenges, some of which unfortunately contribute to the early collapse of promising enterprises.
And the first step is to get information and also to register with Uganda Business Registration Services. It is very easy. Government has simplified these processes, and once you do that, you get facilitated, you even are able to access credit.
Of course, as beginners in entrepreneurship, a little bit it is a bit costly in terms of production. You find it a bit difficult to access equipment.
About 3.8 million people have participated in work-enabling activities. Of these, 58% are young women. Beneficiaries have gained practical skills, financial products, and business support to help them start and grow their enterprises.
I came up with an idea that is Counterbook. Counterbook is a simple and smart records keeping application that is tailored for small and medium enterprises. So Counterbook is a simple and smart bookkeeping application that is tailored for first-time entrepreneurs and non-accountants. This application is built based on the challenges that most entrepreneurs face, and that is records keeping.
Exhibiting our partnership with MasterCard Foundation, which has been on since 2013. Under this partnership, we've so far extended 1,000 scholarships to 70% girls and 30% males. And we've started a new phase. Today we are publicizing the new phase where we are going to extend another 1,000 scholarships for the next 10 years, cadets of MasterCard Foundation. This year, come March, April, we are going to advertise 200 scholarships for people who are going to join Makerere University main campus in academic year 2025-2026.
Uganda has one of the youngest populations in the world, with 78% of Ugandans under the age of 30. For Uganda's youth, access to education, skills, and economic opportunities is crucial to securing dignified and fulfilling work. Crispus Arenitwe, Dennis Goa for UBC Business.
Uganda has inaugurated its first Deep Technology Center of Excellence at the Namambe Industrial Park. The initiative is part of the country's strategy to catalyze innovation in emerging technological fields, giving the country a global competitive edge. The launch of a Deep Tech Center of Excellence in Namambe Industrial Park marks a transformative moment in the nation's deep technology and innovation evolution. Spearheaded by the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation and Future Lab, the center, among others, will create a dynamic ecosystem where deep technology propels economic transformation and provides new opportunities for young people.
The reason they were telling you we are going to begin the silicon with this is because of the value chain approach. So we don't build things haphazardly. Sometimes when we present to people, they see a lot of projects, they think it's haphazard. No. It's all very systematically thought through. We are placing one leg and bringing the other leg such that we are making progress.
During the launch, the Minister of Energy and Mineral Development, Dr. Ruth Nankabirwa, highlighted the centre's role in advancing solutions tailored to address Uganda's energy and mineral sector challenges.
We have created mineral beneficiation centers in the regions. How can we share this infrastructure that we have? The beneficiation centers in East, in West, to help the artisanal miners, those that have been mining in their own rudimentary way. They need the assistance. How do we use the innovators to help these artisanal miners do the right thing and be more efficient? So sharing infrastructure will definitely cut costs.
Among the initiatives announced at the event were the AI for BPO initiative, an AI studio to support ministries, departments and agencies in adopting AI technologies for improved service delivery, and Deep Tech Venture Studio to empower innovators in building world-class ventures.
We're faced with a unique set of opportunities and challenges around what deep technology means. I think for me the first opportunity is just understanding what it is. Not all of us here are fully technical. But beyond that is you find there's things like just limited access to this kind of infrastructure. I think this is the first of its kind that we're seeing in Uganda, but there's similar attempts around the rest of the world to build world-class facilities like this. You've been given an opportunity to leapfrog them. How do we tap into that? There's opportunity for the rapid growth of the digital economy. We've all been familiar with kind of soft tech driving innovation in Africa. Things like M-Pesa. We have our own innovations here in Uganda.
A 2022 report by the Boston Consulting Group revealed that investments in deep tech startups reached $60 billion in 2021, more than doubling since 2016, underscoring the rapid growth and potential of the deep tech industry. The political and economic unrest in the East African region is hurting Uganda's manufacturing sector. UMA cites trade barriers and the security unrest in the Democratic Republic of Congo as some of the challenges that the entity is grappling with. Let's take a look.
Uganda Manufacturers Association has raised concerns about the unrest in the region that manifests economically and politically.
We have countries that they are still not safe allowing some of our products into their markets, but we are not retaliating. The government position has always been clear. Engage them for constructive discussions. Still have an issue with now. It has resurfaced. Milk to Kenya. We have just sent engagement letters to Minister of East African Affairs. We've brought it to the attention of the Minister for Trade.
If traders can't cross, or if traders have been unable to take deliveries, it means that sales stall, and then we are not able to business. Your market is closed off.
The market for Uganda is no longer looked at as Ugandan market; it's a regional market, and Congo, for some of our basic use products, is our biggest market and a market that we are still looking into. So stability in Congo and the rest of the Kivu region is our prayer that it gets upped.
These fears were raised on the sidelines of a meeting between Uganda National Bureau of Standards and Uganda Manufacturers Association on issues of standards, export promotion, import substitution, and the National Development Plan 4, whose aim is to grow the economy tenfold.
In all those priority sectors, we cannot talk of meaningful growth without manufacturing. At the moment, we all know that we are not doing quite well. The targets are that we want to increase from the current merchandise manufactured from a 13% to 50%. And when you talk about manufacturing, you will not have anything to call a product before the National Bureau of Standards certifies that product. And that is meant for both local markets and export markets.
Through building synergies, the two entities are hoping to tackle the perennial standards challenges that affect the country's export capacity, but also the capacity to exhaust the domestic market.
We've agreed to set up technical working groups in order to expedite these discussions, and where we can to make sure that we facilitate business going forward.
So this meeting was largely to make sure that we have a collaborative framework where, as institutions, we make sure we are responsive to the needs of industry.
Manufacturing is a critical role in Uganda's social and economic growth aspirations, and thus issues that constrain the sector must be tackled with urgency. Dennis Igoa for UBC Business.
Relatedly, the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance has unveiled a new business process outsourcing policy. It aimed at creating jobs and tapping into the rapidly expanding global market. Victor Miro reports.
Government has launched the Business Process Outsourcing Program as a strategic pillar for economic growth and youth employment. The system is meant to cut down bureaucracy, select the best party for a particular job. The Minister of Information and National Guidance, Chris Bayomunsi, highlighted how the portal will enhance efficiency and ease work for both government and the private sector.
What is important now is to translate the policy into meaningful action, which means identifying opportunities where our young people can get employed. Because BPO basically refers to a company subcontracting some of its operations to third-party vendors. And in the developed world, it's a growing industry where companies can outsource young people, especially in Africa, for them to do various jobs. For instance, you can be an auditor here in Uganda, and a company in Canada employs you to audit their books.
The policy aims at creating jobs and tapping into the rapidly expanding global BPO market, positioning Uganda as a leading BPO hub, enabling the country to compete on the global stage.
We developed the digital transformation roadmap that has areas of focus that also benefit business process outsourcing. We are focusing on digital infrastructure, ensuring that we have connectivity everywhere across the country. We are investing in data centers and also encouraging the private sector to also set up data centers, because the government data center alone is not enough.
The task for us as a government is to put in place a supportive ecosystem, a supportive environment. For instance, the internet must be cheap. People must access digital devices like laptops, like phones, like computers, so that you can be able to do these BPO jobs.
Through this, livelihoods will be improved, drive economic growth through information and communication technologies.
On our international scene, in Washington, D.C., protesters took to the streets to challenge the latest round of firings of federal government workers, this time targeting the scientific community. We have more from CGTN America.
Government expenditure cuts and layoffs have prompted a rush of protests across the U.S. in recent days, as President Donald Trump's goal to shrink the federal government workforce continues at full speed. In the latest round of firings over the weekend, agencies within the Human Health and Human Services Department were impacted, including the National Institutes of Health, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, and the Food and Drug Administration. This in the wake of the controversial confirmation of vaccine skeptic Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who attempted Tuesday to assuage his critics.
Whatever belief or suspicion I have expressed in the past, I'm willing to subject them all to the scrutiny of unbiased science.
Despite these assurances, hundreds within the scientific community were given pink slips over the weekend, including those tasked with responding to health and safety outbreaks, ensuring the safety of medical devices, and monitoring infectious diseases. On Wednesday, though, many of these workers from the scientific community hit back, taking to the streets in protest across the country, including in Washington, D.C. Much of their wrath targeted the wealthiest man in the world, tech billionaire Elon Musk, appointed by Trump to helm the Department of Government Efficiency that's orchestrating the mass layoffs.
And there's no sugarcoating this. These cuts will kill more Americans.
At least 14 states have filed a lawsuit to block the mass federal government firings, but a federal judge refused to grant a temporary restraining order. As chaos and confusion surrounding the government purge continues, the Department of Defense could be next in the firing line, which critics fear could undermine U.S. military readiness. Poppy Mputing, CGTN, Washington.
We've discussed with different institutions that sponsor different private sector, that they can sponsor our banks, can sponsor individual companies, and we are discussing terms that are favorable to Uganda. We've also discussed possibility of having Ugandan agricultural products have access to the markets to clear out double taxation between Uganda and France. So for us, we're looking at the technology, we're looking at the capital, we're looking at investment opportunities, we're looking at value addition.
We often use this show to showcase some of our country's splendor. In our last episode, we were at Murchison Falls National Park. Tonight we shift our lenses to the Lake Victoria island of Kalangala. Check out this amazing flora and fauna there. Now, with the new traffic guidelines unveiled this week by Uganda Police, it's imperative for all motorists and cyclists to abide by them to avoid being on the wrong side of the law. Otherwise, it was lovely having you on the show. I'm Maureen Babidie. Until next week.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Looking for instant excitement? The Uganda National Lottery Spin for Cash game is now available online. Wherever you are, you can join the excitement for just 500, 1,000 and 2,000 Uganda shillings. Don't miss out. Register now on www.nationallottery.go.ug for a chance to win your share of 2 billion instantly. What are you waiting for? Play Spin for Cash now, anytime, anywhere. Ituba is the proud operator of the Uganda National Lottery.
Uganda National Lottery. Dream, play, win.
Participants must be 18 years or older. Play responsibly. The Uganda National Lottery is operated by Ituba Uganda and regulated by the National Lotteries and Gaming Regulatory Board.
Honorable Barugari Balamatenyi is inviting all residents of Nyangai Division, Masindi District to a government program's impact assessment rally on Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, starting at 11 a.m. The event will feature the Museveni Cup female and male football finals, making it an exciting day out for the community. The minister is also using this opportunity to appeal to all Bunyoro to vote and support President Yoweri Museveni and the Yellow Party overwhelmingly in the 2026 elections. This rally is organized in preparation for our beloved President Museveni's PDM tour, which aims to assess the impact of government programs on the ground.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Amazina nibanyita Ayesigwa Kenesi njo muri sero ya Kazindiro Eastern Ward Nyamerama Kanungu District. Bwene kuna beryaho mucunguzi wit president yatamu yatwesinjangu parish model tubachi tuweje saba district twachi kwata kuba turyaho iyo twatagama unenye twasa kuchitunga kwa yenyima itwenka abantu benyima twatatungezo set akaisha nadi zitazitunga hisha zatazitunga konka parish model kija kutucungura kuba tujya turavocha amasemu gitu twirukira kimwe sentence kwata bampa miliyoni konka kandi positingereho emitwale 2 aha account yanjye then ba kunaza kuzeyo bampa miliyoni yona nisha ninyuruka na ikaha natebekanisa ndibweno hatiyeze sete naza gukora ki obumbe natancha ka hotel leka nkore hotel nunji aha kuba ebimbe ni nkora abantu bene batina mweno kazi ganze junise inze umunjwe nunji mpanyise nunjwe nunji then ngumize muri gukora okugira ngo chimpo businji nagunza mporana naje ukora nateka konka abwa amashemerwa minji munonga naje tinka president okumpa miliyoni na antajine nkakora ki nateka ntikando ndizina eriri kumanyonka eriri hihi nesete zubatwire naje ta parish model restaurant abantu harebeka je abantu bija nkabane ngo bashirinjika shanju omutwaro natandika kugobe mitwaro eshatu necweka nko kwa hoteli teka nanka nakutize kashwana emitwaro eshatu necweka emitwaro na 5 so nakora nashemererwa narabiryantu yatanga kutambura abantu bana batanga kuja kasino babakanye so kunko zire naganti mwishati ya niza koma hoteli kusha kandi undarunda magobaga namakunda runda magobaga nago gankorere ekindi kanaza ntikandonde empuno zakuba hoteli yanje ejo kujya kubirukushagaho imbitankaye mweno kango ntungeho empuno ebirashagaho ebirarimwe abantu basiga amasowani mbihereze empuneza impuneji niyo yazire first round ekazara abana 8 ekazara abana 9 ati round ya kabiri ezira abana 10 abana 10 nibo ngurize nkaguze emitwaro 10 nkiyeme emitwaro nshanju nkazigura akanyana kente emitwaro 3 nkagibikomoshaho ezi ibiri zikazaga mu first round eyina abire nguzire emitwaro nshanju kuna zigo emitwaro nshanju yazara abana mpango ekazara 8 egi yazara 9 endijo ya kashatu yazara abana mushanju zona zabe mpuna 2 kuzabe mpuna 2 na naja ntimwe n'icishunye nangu ngire mpunu nyingi naye bikira mpunu mukaga ngumene inzorora omu first round ebyane binasigireho this twabiha mpunu 2 nasigara byane 18 nisha nabiguze mpunu nabiguza omitwaro 10 ya ntunga miliyoni 1 n'emitwaro 9 so nagura hebyo kurya nazirundana nagaruka we hoteli amagoba aguzabere zikozire gwe hoteli yabere kozire nazigita zone neze na nemwe 9 nayombeka mwenju nino bwana 10 12 nino bwana 12 bwempona ubu niza kushoza kandi kuzuguza mitwari 10 mwene cyamusango ninza kushowa nkwate miliyoni 1 n'emitwaro 2 so nkinshemeza munonga ntino ya president tumusime tumukunde kubanyonke kinganta ki kandi ngantu irerese ndi gukora kunkanta kabire mwene zitazapide muzikisha n'umugisha muhango munonga so president Museveni ahali nayebale munonga.
I'm called Sekanawangelo. I live here in Rutare village, Rutare parish, Sub County, Kisoro district. I have my small dairy farm, but initially I started with local cows. Then in 2016, West Creation came in and they gave me 1 cow, where it produced 1 heifer. Immediately, I gave it out. Then later on, it started producing others. I catered for them, and they produced milk. Up to now, I'm getting 30 liters per day, where I'm selling it at a liter at 1,500. Then, which means in a month, I'm getting 1.350, whereby net 1 million. Then the other 350, it is on the side of feeding them and looking after them, buying them what they want. After, I got an advice. Since I'm producing, I have a dairy farm, cows, I should try to plant matoke. When I tested planting that was 2019, I planted matoke, but according to how I'm seeing, I'm getting, at least each week, I'm getting 150,000 per week, and sometimes even more. Like in big days, Christmas, Easter, we get more than that. So the matoke, to me, are doing better than Irish. Because I also deal with Irish. But Irish, much as you think you earn much, but that is the money we have spent. Because like 2 seasons, the last 2 seasons, we have been getting losses. You plant, you don't even get a quarter of what you have spent. I employ 2 permanent people who look after them. Then there are 2 others who look after the grasses and the rest. Then I have some other people who carry manure from home to the banana plantation. So I employ about 12 people. And I'm paying them without having any problem. But the animals, you don't look at only at milk. You look at the manure because I have a biogas. I have manure. So, with cows, I'm not making any loss. Because sometimes you sell even the heifer, the burros, depending. Where you are stuck with money, you can even cross and sell one. But another one also produces. So,